To the pet show. Does your schnauzer have you stressed out? Are your favorite felines in the middle of a feud? Is your rescue Labrador a bit lethargic? Well, if you love your dogs or cats, I'm assuming you do, and really want to understand their behavior almost as well as they understand yours, and believe me, they understand yours a lot better. Or maybe you're confused about why your dog or cat behaves a certain way and want to resolve any issues they may be having. You know what to do. Stay tuned, because once again, right here, right now, it is time for the Pet Show. That's right, America's first and only real pet psychology, pet training, pet behavior, and of course, pet lifestyle show. So hop up on my couch. Bring those furry little buddies with you, folks, because yes, it is that time once again to let the animal analyzing begin. Hey, hello, everyone. I almost said good morning, but I'm broadcasting from Arizona, where it's an hour later, so it's good afternoon, everyone. I'm Warren Eckstein. This is the Pet Show. Plenty of time for your questions and comments. Lots of great stuff to give away on the show today. Some new stuff as well. Some doggy breath stuff. Some stuff to help your dogs if they need to calm down. So plenty of great stuff to give away. Also, plenty of time to answer all of your pet and animal questions, whether it be chewing, jumping, barking, digging, scratching, not getting along with other dogs, not getting along with the new cat. That's what we do here on the Pet Show. We help you resolve any issues you may be having with your dogs and cats, but as I say every week, and it is so true, any issues your dog or cats may be having with you. Busy show today. Lots of good stuff coming up on the show, but I'll hold off because I'm doing something very special on the show. I'm going to tell you a legitimate case that I worked on many years ago. The most interesting, fascinating, ridiculous, stupid, unbelievable case. I call it Love American Style. Stay tuned for that. You're not going to want to miss that story. It's kind of interesting. Plenty of time for your calls. Lots of great stuff to give away. So if you have a question about your dog or cat, just want to share a great story about an adopted dog or cat or a rescue dog or cat, or if you're like me, just the other night I had a dream about my first dog. My first dog was a German Shepherd named Smokey. I should call her Rin Tin Tin because that's what I thought she was. So if you just want to tell a great story about that as well. And if you've recently adopted or rescued, and I tell you why I do this every week, the bottom line is that every time we get one of those stories from one of my listeners, someone out there says, maybe it's me. Maybe I should go out and adopt or rescue a dog or cat. So if you have a great rescue story, I'd love to hear from you. If you're with a rescue organization that's inundated right now, give me a call. As I said, lots of great stuff to give away. I got some hugs and kisses to give away, copies of my best-selling books to give away. I got Lucy Pet Food, doggy lickies to give away. I got some great breath mints. Great stuff to give away on the show. Anyway, if you have any questions or comments, great time to give me a call. The phone number here at the Pet Show, 866-870-KRLA. That's 866-870-5752, 866-870-5752. Now, I spend probably 18 hours a day going over amazing information, some of it not so amazing, about dogs, about cats, about animals in general, what's going on in the world. So I got some interesting topics for today's show. If we have time, I'll get to them, but your calls always come first. By the way, if you want to give me a call, interesting. And just to give you some idea of where my head is, I ran the largest training school on the East Coast for many years, and 80% of my trainers, and when I say my trainers, I never hired anybody, I trained them all, and they apprenticed for me for years before they went out. 80% were women, and we'll talk about that. Maybe there's a reason why. So male or female, what gender is better for your dog? We'll talk about that coming up a little bit later on today's show. But also, so you think, I say that one more time, you think that dogs are smarter than cats. I hope you're sitting down for this, guys. Please be sitting down. Did you know that a cat's brain are 90% similar to yours and mine? That's right, your cat's brain. The cat you make fun of. The cat you say is not as smart as your dog. His brain's about 90% exactly as your brain is. So next time you say something bad about your cat, you may look in the mirror. Also coming up, you often hear me speaking, we'll stay with cats for a second. You often hear me speak about boxes. In my sleep at night, I go, cardboard boxes, put one on top of the other, make a kitty condo, make a duplex, blah, 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 blah. So the question did come up. Warren, why? Why do cats like boxes? Why are they infatuated with boxes? We spent that $300 on a scratching post for our cat. Went to Costco, brought home a box, and it was Kitty Nirvana. What is that all about? We'll talk about that as well. And I am a firm believer that the most incredible thing that anyone can accomplish with their pet primarily dogs in this case, is having their dog trust them. May love you, may like you, may adore you, but does your dog really trust you? Trust is probably the most important emotion that I believe in, because if I trust somebody, I trust them 100%. So we're going to find out what you should look for to see if, in fact, your dog does trust you. I got the answers to that as well. As always, plenty of time to answer all of your pet and animal questions. Lots of great stuff to give away. So if your pet is jumping, chewing, scratching, confused about the litter box, that brand new rescue dog isn't housebroken, maybe he doesn't get along with other dogs, maybe he doesn't like people, or just believes anything he sees he's got a hump, give me a call. 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. Now, this question comes up at least once a year, and I know some people are going to be really angry with me when I answer it my way, but I want to hear from you as well. Here is the question of the day, and if you answer this question, I'll still send you a gift. I'm going to read it verbatim. What do you say to family members and friends that want you to keep your pets away during visits over the holidays? You're having Christmas dinner, you're having Hanukkah dinner at your house, whatever dinner you're having, you're inviting family, you're inviting friends, but some of your family and some of your friends say, you know what? We're not coming unless you put that dog away. We're not into dogs, we don't like dogs, and we're not coming over for the holidays. What would you say to those people? Would you still invite them over? Would you put your dog away, or would you say, you know what? Maybe you should check out a diner in another neighborhood. Give me a call. Let me know. 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. I believe you know what my answer to that will be. Someone's coming over to my house telling me to put my dogs away. My dogs are as much a part of this house, as much a part of the family as I am. So if I put my dogs away, I guess I'll have to put myself away with them. 866-870-KRLA. You're going to want to hear this story. I've told a lot of stories over the years, my mafia clients, and I just heard a story the other day that one of them doesn't live too far away from me, so I'm not going to mention where I live. I've talked about that. I've talked about my training overseas and all that. But the story I'm going to tell today, Love American Style, is a uniquely Warren situation. How I came across it, what happened, and why it was so strange. Well, let me just leave you with this. One of my clients wanted me, and I'll leave with this. I'll tell you the rest of the story later. One of my clients, you know that I get involved with whatever's going on. If I have a client that's in a wheelchair, I'm going to train the dog in a wheelchair. I have a client with an artificial limb, I'm going to strap a stick to my leg to kind of, this situation was a little different. I'll leave you with this, and I'll tell you the story a little bit later. Alex, close your ears. This couple wanted me, or the husband wanted me to get into bed with him and his wife. That's all I'm going to tell you right now. Love American Style. I'll tell you right off the bat, it didn't happen, okay? Denise is listening. Did not happen, Denise, I promise. But anyway, I'll tell you the story coming up a little bit later. I think you'll find it fascinating, and what my resolution ultimately was, and what their resolution was before I came into the picture. You think you have a tough job. 866-870-KRLA, the phone number, 866-870-5752. Let's go to Casey in Calabasas. Hey, Casey, welcome to the Pet Show.
How are you, brother? How's your day going?
My day's going great so far. What can I do for you?
I am petting the Spitz of which we speak right now. He's relaxing on his little dog pillow. So I've got the Eskimo. He's a rescue from the streets of Chatsworth. So
I think I know more about your dog than you do by now, Casey.
Oh, my God, brother. I love my dog so much. He's behavioral, though, Warren. I worry about him. I worry about taking him out in public. Like I was walking him at Will Rogers Beach the other day.
Yeah.
And if he sees a jogger, he'll just lunge for the jogger. Obviously, skateboards and bicycles are not his friends. But I guess for folks that don't know what an Eskimo is, I mean, he's a pretty formidable animal. He's like a mini husky, yeah, kind of.
Well, they're in that northern breed family. You know, they're great dogs. And it's like I always say this to you. I know I said it a million times. It's like a big dog in a little suit. But now the question comes up, Casey, is what is your reaction when he reacts this way? Because I'm hearing in your voice that you might get a little anxious, a little stressed out when he's reacting that way because you're not knowing exactly what to or how to handle it. Is that pretty much on target?
Well, I think I learned from you. Don't be choking up on the leash, and don't be holding your breath when you see the bicyclist coming. You don't want to kind of preempt them. But for me, it's just that one of the behaviors that I've noticed is I was out with a friend yesterday. She's got 2 dogs, so usually if someone smells like dog or has been around dogs, he's usually a little bit more chill. But we must have been walking on the beach for maybe 20 minutes, and then all of a sudden it's like he saw her for the first time and lunges at her. And that's the type of behavior where I make a joke. I mean, I call him Skitsy Spitsy because sometimes he just lunges out of nowhere, and it's like you've been walking with this person for 20 minutes. So I don't want to put him in a muzzle. I had a behaviorist recommend muzzle training, and I'm like, I don't know about that. I don't know if that's good for the dog.
It's like putting a straitjacket on a normal person. It doesn't work.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
You don't have a problem dog. You have a dog with an issue. And there's a lot of things that, first of all, it's a spitz, okay? And obviously, the dog may be a little possessive over you. But my heart is telling me that when he reacts this way, normal reaction from a guardian like you would be to be a little anxious and nervous themselves and try to stop the situation. No, stop it, knock it off, don't do it, whatever.
Yes, sir.
If you say anything at that point, you just reinforced that behavior. You just said to the dog, you're going to get some type of reaction. Now, dogs very often don't care if it's negative or positive, but he's going to get some type of reaction. Now, if you were hiring me as your behaviorist, what I would be doing is I would be taking the dog, I would be walking the dog. First of all, I would solidify some basic training. Then I would be taking the dog to areas where he would be most apt to react the way you're telling me he reacts. And what I would be doing at that point, when he reacts that way, I wouldn't say a word. I would continue walking, get to a quiet area, reestablish positive authority with some basic training, continue my walk. If he does it again, the same thing. If you're continuously doing that, he will get the idea. But if you do it 9 times right, Casey, and the 10th time you blow it, that's the time he's going to remember. But I want you to understand this. When a dog shows that type of behavior, has he broken his skin on anybody?
Unfortunately, sir, he's broken skin on me quite a few times, and that's why when I took him, he's a double owner relinquishment. When I took him, I was pretty much the last stop on the block, because what I explained to the lady is I said, if you take this dog to an L.A. County animal shelter, this dog is likely going to be euthanized because he'll be butt to the wall, aggressing, and then the second he bites or breaks skin, that's really bad for the animal. So there's no way I'm going to give up on this animal. But yes, sir, he's broken skin on me quite a few times.
Does he generally, but can you pick on those specific times? And one of the things that really helps me out is if I can narrow in on when it occurs. And sometimes it's sporadic, and sometimes, obviously, I can't narrow in on what's causing the reaction. But the reaction that you're telling me about is kind of a it's a protective reaction. I don't know. We don't know his background. We don't know if he was beaten by people. We don't know if someone gave him a hug and a kiss and then whacked them across the face. So just by being nice or pleasant with the dog and spending a lot of time with him doesn't necessarily remove that fear or some trigger point that he's receiving that he better react. So what I would be doing is exactly what I told you in terms of the aggressive behavior. Solidify the basics. Take him for a walk. The minute he reacts that way, more basic training for 2 or 3 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever you want, and continue walking. What happens is most people spend too much time trying to resolve the situation at that point, and generally the dog is reacting upset, you're reacting upset. No one's going to win, and no one wins in an argument like that. So you have to kind of be nice and mellow, nice and calm, and say, okay, that's not acceptable. I'm going to take him over there. I'm going to work him for 5 minutes and go back into the same situation. Is it going to happen overnight? The answer is no. Is it resolve every situation? The answer is no. But it should get it at least a lot more under control for you at that point. And any time you visualize that he's showing any type of assertive behavior, you either walk away and then come back, put the leash and harness, and give him a lesson at that point. You need to establish more positive authority. I think all the authority he received early on, and I'm speculating, but I'm pretty good at speculating after all these years, I believe there was a lot of abuse involved.
Yes, sir. No, you're exactly right. And one of the things that I had noticed right away is if I went near a broom, or a hose, the animal went crazy. And so I recognized right away, like, I would, like, teach him. I'm like, the broom is for cleaning. The broom is not for discipline. Like, I would take him outside to water the plants so that he understood, like, a hose
here's a prime example, and then I got one. But here's a perfect example. My guy, Willie, I adopted Molly and Willie from this high kill shelter. I've had Molly for several years now. Beautiful dogs, smartest dogs in the world, cutest dogs in the world, not just because they're mine, but that's part of the reason. Anyway, the bottom line is most people, even me at times, it totally freaks Willie out if you walk behind him. In fact, if Molly and Willie are out in the yard and I let Molly in, if I walk behind Willie, you can see the panic in his face. You can just see it. Mm-hmm. So, and God forbid your foot is anywhere near his rear. So I know he was kicked. Molly was ignored. Willie was abused physically and kicked. So It's taken me all these years. But even now, every once in a while, I'll notice a little look in his face as if he's going backward, because they do learn through association. Yeah. And so you have to kind of always be on target. I got to move on, Casey. I know. You got to be on target for that. But again, the bottom line is this is definitely, at least if not resolvable, controllable.
I appreciate you, Warren. Thanks so much, bud.
Hey, Casey, we'll speak soon. Have a great day. Appreciate that.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Great call, by the way. Casey calls a lot, and he has his spits, and he's such an incredible guy. Adopted this dog, rescued this dog. I know, Alex. I got to take a commercial break. Let me take a break. When we come back, Amy and Maurice Paul will get to you. Yeah, I did say Love American Style. The story you're not going to believe from the pet guy coming up a little bit later. 866-870-KRLA. All right, thinking this song. My neighbors aren't thrilled when I'm outside, but it's my favorite. One of my favorite. This, I would have to say, Alex, this and Porky Pig singing are probably my favorite. Hey, just before we get back to the calls, we'll get to Amy in a second, Maurice, Paul, and Maria. Before I do this, I wanted to talk about this for a second. Everyone adopted and rescued dogs and spent a lot of time home with their dogs during the pandemic. Well, a brand new study says that a lot of pets were not so thrilled about having their people home with them all day. They were put out by their constant human presence, according to a study. The study was done in Australia. The lockdowns in that country left many cats being put out or disturbed before their humans were home all the time. Cats were put out with their owners being home all the time and invading their space. While it wasn't true for all cats, some appeared happier their owners were home, but when it came to dogs seemed to be a lot more thrilled with having people around them all the time. But cats, cats are different. Cats are different. Cats are just as social as dogs are, take it from me, but sometimes they just need a little space for themselves. 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. I'm not making that up, so I had a legitimate... In fact, the story I'm going to tell you, Love American Style, is right out of my autobiography. And, it's about a couple that wanted me to sleep with them. Didn't happen. 866-870-KRLA. This is the Pet Show, by the way. Let me get back to the phone lines here. Let's go to Maurice in L.A. first. Hi, Maurice. Welcome to the show. Hey, Maurice. How you doing?
Yes, hello. Warren.
How you doing? Yeah. What's up?
I'm doing well, thank you. Answer to your question is, during the holidays, any friends or relatives ask me to put my dogs away when they come over, I would say, don't come.
There you go.
There
you go.
That's my answer.
I would say bring your dogs and cats over and you stay home. That's what I would say to them. I can't, there's still a lot of people out there, and maybe they've never had the opportunity to establish or understand the relationship that people have with their pets. But I'm sure that my listeners, most people listening to me right now, and myself included, their pets are part of the family. It's not just a family dog. It's not just a family cat. It's part of the family. And that's the way it should be. So would you tell me to put my kids away, or put my grandmother away, or put my uncle away, or put my wife away? Now, I understand that there are certain people whose dogs or cats may be a little bit rambunctious, but that's life. That's life. Yeah. You don't put them away. You either take the time to socialize them and train them. But if someone said to me, listen, Warren, I'm not coming to your house unless you put the dogs away, that's an extra glass of wine for me. That's the way I look at it.
That's not right. That's not right. No.
So Maurice, what kind of pets do you have?
We just lost our Chihuahua.
I'm so sorry.
After 14 years, a beautiful dog. Her name's Bella. And my grandkids were so attached to her. And so my son recently went and adopted a Dalmatian. So we have now for the last 6 months. Yeah.
Great. You know they're born without spots. You know that, right?
Yes.
And look, can I tell a Dalmatian story here? Years ago, I was doing a commercial, and the commercial was at a firehouse for Ever Ready batteries in New York City. And they were playing a Stevie Wonder song in the background. So what I had to do is, it was a firehouse, so of course it was Dalmatians. So they wanted to show how long an Ever-Ready battery would last. So they wanted to show the different stages of the Dalmatian growing up. So I started out with a Dalmatian at 8 weeks old, then a 12-week-old, then a 16-week-old, then a year-old, then a 5-year-old, then a 10-year-old. The hardest job I ever had, I had to find a bunch of Dalmatians, all different ages, with similar spots. Not an easy task. Anyway, listen, Maurice, I'm going to put you on hold. And I am going to send you, I'm going to send you a copy of how to get your dog to do what you want for your new grand dog, and give that pup a big hug and a kiss. 866-870-KRLA, the phone number. I got to take a quick break, get right back to you calls when we come back. We got Maria, we got Amy, we got Paul. I do have a couple of open lines. And the question of the day, and Maurice just hit it right on target. What do you say to family and friends that want you to put your dog or your cats away when they come to visit for the holidays? Do you put your dogs or cats away? Do you accept that, or do you say, listen, if you can't deal with my dogs and cats, maybe, just maybe, you shouldn't be coming over? I'd love to hear from you. Plenty of time for your calls. Lots of great stuff to give away. 866-870-5752. 866-870-KRLA. A quick break, then right back at you. I'm Warren Eckstein, and yes, you are listening to my neighbors. I blast this in the backyard over the holidays. I love this. By the way, just a reminder, if you love your pets and the holidays, check out the Christmas Corner on my website, thepetshow.com. 23, including this 23 of my favorite holiday songs, great poems written by you, a rescue dog's Christmas, a greyhound's Christmas. Get into the holiday spirit. Go to my website. It's all free, thepetshow.com, and check out the Christmas Corner. You'll be glad you did. Hey, wrap your heads around this, guys. Studies show that cats' brains are about 90% structurally similar to yours and mine. This is particularly true in the cerebral cortex, which, by the way, is responsible for emotions, memory, and learning. Their shared brain structure might explain why cats seem to have deep connections with their human companions, mirroring behaviors like affection and memory. To all you dog people. I'm so tired for you. Dogs. I've had as many dogs, probably more dogs than I've had cats, and I just think that they both have their amazing qualities. 866-870-KRLA, the phone number, 866-870-5752. We're going to Amy in Huntington Beach next. Hi, Amy. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Warren. So I took my cat to the vet because I called you earlier this year about her not smelling the food, and you said to heat it in the microwave. None of that worked. So the vet said that she basically had allergies, so he gave her a shot for allergies. Then she was born with the herpes virus from her mother. She'll be 16 in January, but I didn't know that until I found out later. And her eye got cloudy, so he sent me home with a week's worth of eye drops. Nothing worked. Then they had a specialist eye doctor at another location, a sister location of theirs. They gave me more eye drops for another week, and they gave me some stuff to feed her internally after she had food in her stomach so it wouldn't upset her stomach. A week later, none of that worked. Now they're trying to get me to go get this new eye drop. It's called, I'm going to spell it, it's C-I-D-O.
It wouldn't make any difference to me. It's a lot. It's way beyond my pay grade, Okay. But let me go over something with you, okay?
Well, let me finish really quick. So my question to you is, they keep giving me a different prescription eye drop. This will be the third time. Now they want me to continue this for a monthly thing. And my question is, can she just live with a cloudy eye? Because it's the same eye that when she had the herpes virus, it's dripped her entire life. Now again,
Amy, you're above my pay grade, my background's behavior. But let me give you some advice, okay? What I told you about heating up the food and you telling me it's not working, you did that before you went to the vet. Then you went to the vet,
correct,
and the first thing the vet told you was the cat has allergies, correct?
Correct.
What do allergies do to a nose? They stuff it up, don't they?
Right. But
so therefore, I'm going back to what I said earlier on. The nose is clear now. The cat's still not eating. Have you heated up and tried all the different...
She is eating again. Yeah.
Okay, well, good. So now that she's on medication, the nose is cleared up. So what I said, in reality, does work. The cat wasn't eating because it couldn't smell the food properly. There you go. Now, in terms of the eye, again, this is above my pay grade. You're talking a lot deep veterinary. If I were you, and I can only answer my question if I put myself in your shoes, and here's what I would do. I would be on the phone today. I would call up the University of California, Davis Veterinary School. I would see if I can make a online consultation with one of their veterinary ophthalmologists, and I would have a conversation with them. Nothing wrong with the people you're seeing. It's just that very often the veterinary schools have the latest technology available, and sometimes that one phone call can make the difference. Now, I'm not knocking. Your doctors are probably right on target, but I can hear it in your voice. You want to make a final decision in terms of what to do. That would be the thing I recommend as a finalization for you. University of California, up at Davis. Contact the veterinary ophthalmologist there. It might cost you a couple of dollars to set up a consultation via Zoom or Skype, but I think that's what I would do. I know that's what I would do if I were in your situation at this point.
The University of California, and what city is that?
Oh, it's University of California, Davis, California.
Davis.
You just go UC Davis.
Okay.
If you Google UC Davis,
okay.
it's one of the top veterinaries. And keep me posted. I'm really curious right now, but I want you to understand what I told you early on. And this is where vets and I may differ a little bit. Very often, when a cat or a dog stops eating, the reason they're not eating is because dogs and cats eat with their nose. So if the cat did have allergies, in fact, was not smelling the food properly, the vet got the cat in terms of the allergies, whatever they had to do. Bottom line is the cat's eating it. Good luck. Give him a hug and a kiss, and give me a call back and keep me posted, and I really do appreciate that phone call. That's what my listeners are all about. That's why I do this show. They will do anything imaginable that they can do to make sure that their dogs and their cats are taken care of. And sometimes no one's omnipotent. And sometimes, you can shop around till you get the answer you want. That's not what I'm recommending. But very often when you have a situation like this, you need to go that extra step and say, okay, I saw the specialist. Well, let me get a second opinion from another specialist at the veterinary school and see what they have to say, and I think that'll clear your head a little bit. Hey, the phone number here at the Pet Show, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. Plenty of time for your calls. Lots of great stuff to give away. I got Lucy Pet Food to give away, Doggy Lickies, Hugs and Kisses supplements, my best-selling dog and cat book, Rosie's Puppy Fresh Breath, air horns, T-shirts, all-natural herbal flea spray, some great new calming products from my friends over at Acorn Pet Products. Great stuff to give away. Plenty of time for your calls. The phone number, 866-870-KRLA. The question of the day. We've already had one response. I'd like to hear from a few more people. And if you want to respond on YouTube, I'm broadcasting live at youtube.com/Warren Eckstein, youtube.com/Warren Eckstein. What do you say to family members and friends that want you to keep your dog or your cat away when they come over to your home for the holidays? Would you put your dog or cat away when family and friends come over for the holidays? I'd love to hear from you. Give me a call. I got some great gifts, as I said, to give away. 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. Let's go to Paul in L.A. Hi, Paul. Welcome to the show. Hey, Paul. Paul, did we lose you, Paul? Paul, what happened to Paul? Paul disappeared on me. Goodbye, Paul. Give me a call back, Paul. I'd love to talk to you. Let's go to Maria in Lancaster. Hey, Maria, welcome to the show.
Hi. I have 3 questions. First, I got a cat and a dog from the dog pound, and I already spent $1,800 each for cat dentistry and dog dentistry. Could I both give them for cat treat, dental treat, and dog dental treat instead of taking them to the vet?
Well, in other words, you should be giving. There are dental chews on the market that can really make a difference in the care, because 85 to 90% of dogs and cats are going to develop dental disease by the time they're 3 or 4 years old. Now, how old are these dogs? How old is this dog and the cat?
11 years old dog, and the cat is about 14.
Oh. God bless you, Maria. I mean, God, to take these dogs out of a shelter at that age, I adore you already. At that age, giving them dental chews might be beneficial. There are some great dental chews on the market, but I still think at this point, you had them cleaned by the vet, so they should be in good shape now, no?
Well, This is my second question. The teeth look okay, but still, the dog, she needs probiotics and prebiotics. And I was wondering, can I give her human prebiotics and probiotics?
No. What kind of food do you give her?
Right now it's IAMS. And the thing is, she has very bad breath. I also get from Paws something.
Let me stop you for a second. Let me stop you for a second. I don't want to run out of time. Two things. Number one is I'm going to send you a different food, okay? Number one, I'm going to send you some Lucy pet food. And why? I don't want you to change it over gradually. You might be saying, why are you going to send me Lucy pet food? We just talked about the concept of prebiotics and probiotics. Lucy pet food is one of the only foods on the market that has a combination of prebiotics and probiotics right in their food. So gradually make the transition, a little bit of Lucy with the regular stuff, and gradually remove the regular stuff, add more Lucy stuff. That's important. Then what I would recommend that you do, if you go online to Amazon.com, there's a product there. It's relatively new. It's called Rosie's Puppy Fresh Breath. Just add a little bit to the dog's water, and that will help with the bad breath. But the bad breath is probably caused by some type of dental situation. But the fact that you said you had all the teeth taken care of, I'm assuming they're in good shape. But again, you don't want to play with dental situations. People just think it's a matter of bad breath, this, blah, blah. Let me tell you, bad teeth, bad gums, periodontal problems can really go into the bloodstream and cause infections and even death in the long run. So it's really important to remember to make sure, check with the vet. But if you can, in the meantime, pick up the Rosie's Puppy Fresh Breath. It's available at Amazon.com, and I'm going to send you some of the Lucy Pet Formula for Life pet food for your dog. And just watch the breath. It could be due to what you're feeding him as well. If he's not digesting his food properly, that can cause bad breath as well. So give me a call back. I'm going to put you on hold. I'm sending you some of Lucy pet food with that prebiotic and probiotic formula. Quick break, then right back to your phone calls. I'm Warren Eckstein. This is The Pet Show. Back on The Pet Show. By the way, if you want to check these songs out, all 23 of my favorite holiday songs available at thepetshow.com. Just click on the Christmas corner. Hey, we're back on. The phone number here, 866-870-KRLA. That's 866-870-5752. Do have some open lines. You have a question or a comment, great time to give me a call. Everyone that calls will get a great gift for their dog or cat. Lucy pet food, doggy lickies, hugs and kisses, copies of my book, Fresh Breath for your dog. Lots of great stuff to give away. So if you have a question or a comment, great time to call me. And again, the question of the day is, what would you say to family or friends that says they're not coming over to your house for the holidays unless you put your dog or cat away? Give me a call and I'll send you a great gift. 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752, 866-870-5752. That is the way to get through. Plenty of time for your calls. Now, here's the deal. There are several signs that can indicate that a dog has chosen his favorite person. Attention, trust, and love are common indicators of a strong bond between a dog and its guardian. I want to share this with you, something I'm going to be working on this week, and I'll be posting on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Warren Eckstein. This is important. Signals of trust from the dog. And I want you to really kind of think about this. When a dog trusts you, it will show this through various body language signals. These signals can vary from dog to dog, but there are some common signs to look for. So do you really know if your dog trusts you or not? Window clamping. What is window clamping? If the dog presses its head or body against you or an object, this is a sign of trust. It shows that the dog feels safe and comfortable in your presence. These are the things I work on when I'm not talking to you. So window clamping. If you have one of those dogs that's constantly pressing his head against you or other people or other items, it's kind of an indication of trust. Also, a fantail. A dog that wags its tail widely is often a sign of joy and trust. A very high tail can indicate excitement or fear, though, so you have to know the positions of the tail. So look for a moderate and relaxed tail position, and if it's going crazy, just another indication that your dog is really trusting you. And what about eye contact? You know, we often talk about eye contact. If your dog looks you straight in the eye and doesn't look away, this is a very, very strong sign of trust. Eye contact can also be an indication that the dog is seeking your attention or wants to communicate with you. So if you have a dog that looks you square in the eyes, people say, don't stare at you. It's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. What about rolling on their back? I get this all the time. My dog rolls on his back, Warren. What does it mean? Well, it could mean several things. But rolling on his back, when a dog rolls on its back, it shows its belly. It means it feels safe and relaxed around you. The stomach area, when a dog is on its back, is the most vulnerable area. In the wild, the first thing that predators do is go for the stomach area where the grains and all the other stuff is. So when a dog rolls on his back and exposes his belly to you, it's indicative of one or two things. Number one, he trusts you entirely, 100%, or he's being a little submissive by showing his belly, saying, okay, you win, here I am. What about lipping? What is lipping? If your dog licks you on the face or other parts of the body, this is a signal of trust and affection. It shows that it's comfortable with you and wants to show its love. And winking. A slow wink by your dog is also indicative that the dog trusts you. So, how many people out there believe that the dog trusts them or not? Give me a call, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. So, got lots of great stuff to give away. I was kind of hoping that people would answer the question a little bit more. I mean, how many people out there with dogs and cats would put their dog or cat away just so a friend or a relative is going to come over? Don't like my dog, don't like my cat. You're not coming into my house. That's the way it is. So what would you say if you had your family or friends coming over and they said, listen, we're not coming into your house. We're not going to come over for the holidays. No Christmas morning, no Christmas Eve, no nothing until you put your dog or your cat away. Give me a call. I'd love to hear from you. 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. Plenty of time for your calls. As I said, lots of pretty amazing stuff to give away. Everyone that calls into the show will get a great gift. By the way, some of these gifts will make a great Christmas present for your dog or cat. Now, you don't have to tell them that I sent it to you. Also, I got something new I'm going to give away on today. So if you have a dog or a cat that's maybe a little anxious or stressed out over the holidays, I have these little calming discs with a great sense in them that can really help calm the dog or cat down. They're made by a company called Acorn Pet Products. Great company. Check them out online. But I got some of their discs to help calm the dog or cat down. I'm thinking of putting one around my neck during the holidays as well. 866-870-5752, 866-870-KRLA. As I said earlier, I've been doing this for a lot of years, and I've had a lot of interesting stories. I've told you some of my stories of mob clients and celebrity clients. Well, today I'm going to share a story with you, probably the next hour, called Love. I call it Love American Style. It was a couple that was having trouble in the bedroom, and they hired me to resolve it. Maybe they should have hired Dr. Ruth. 866-870-KRLA, the phone number. Quick break, then back to all of your phone calls. I'm Warren Eckstein. This is you love your dogs and cats. I'm assuming you do. You've come to the right place. I'm Warren Eckstein. This is The Pet Show, America's first and only real pet psychology, pet behavior, pet training, pet lifestyle. If you have a question or comment, great time to give me a call. We have a whole other hour to go here, so if you have a question or comment and you get through to me and we talk live on the air, a great gift will be available for you. Not available. I'll be sending it to your dog or your cat. Many of the gifts I give away worth as much as $40 or $50. So great time to give me a call. The phone number here at the Pet Show, 866-870-KRLA. Whether your dog is jumping or humping, your cat is scratching, keeping you up at night, doesn't get along. The question of the day is, what do you say to family and friends that want you to keep your pets away or put them away when they come over during the holidays? I'm not coming over unless you put your dog away. I'm not coming over unless you put that stupid cat. What do you say to people like that? Give me a call, 866-870-KRLA. If you get through, a great gift will be on its way to you. 866-870-5752, the way to get through. Hey, Bobby, James, and Jenny, don't go anywhere. I want to do this story, and then I'll get to your calls. I promise. I got some great gifts here, but I've been promising to talk about this, and I don't want to run out of time. This is from my autobiography. I called it Love American Style. And anyone who knows me knows that I put myself in the situations of the people I'm working with, so listen carefully. I've had strange calls in my life, but one call bordered on kinky. It wasn't just any crackpot on the phone. It was a former client from Kew Gardens, Queens, whose dog I had trained. He started, Warren, my new wife and I have 2 dogs now, and we're having trouble in the bedroom. My first response was, call Dr. Ruth and leave me alone. But I agreed to delve further into the problem, and when I got there, a beautiful German Shepherd greeted me along with a normal-looking couple in their 50s. Warily, I asked them what the problem was, and it seemed normal enough his dog did not get along with her dog. The trigger point seemed to be the couple was trying to have some kind of sexual relationship, and her dog would be very possessive of her, and his dog possessive of him. Apparently, the couple's sexual relationships were very important, and whenever they would try to get together, the dog would go bananas if they were in the same room. I recommended obvious things. Now, before I got there, this is what these people did. You talk about people loving dogs. I mean, I did resolve it ultimately. But when I got there, here's what they did to resolve the problem. They actually lived in a place called Levittown, Long Island. Anyone who ever lived on the East Coast knows where Levittown is. They bought 2 houses adjoining to each other before I got there. 2 houses right next door to each other. And what they would do is they would spend one evening in one house with one dog and one evening in the other house with the other dog. Incredible story. They did this for a long time before I got involved. I ultimately was there, and then they said, Warren, what can we do to resolve it? And basically, if there's a situation where I have 2 dogs that aren't getting along or a dog that's causing problems, I try to put myself in that situation. If it's someone in a wheelchair, I put myself in a wheelchair. If it's someone that has a very loud voice or wears a hat or has a beard, I'll put myself in that situation. There was no situation that I was putting myself in their bedroom, even though they recommended it, and I said, no, no, no. Bottom line was it took me about 3.5 months to resolve the situation. But these people actually bought 2 houses next to each other. Ultimately, they were able to sell one of the houses. They lived together happily ever after. I don't know what their sex life was. I didn't ask. After that, but they lived together happily, I'm assuming, with the 2 dogs in one house. Love American style. Yeah, sometimes I get myself involved, but in that case, I drew the line. 866-870-KRLA. How would you like a call? Can I listen? Can you sleep with us? No, I can't. 866-870-KRLA, the phone number, 866-870-5752. Hey, Bobby and Whittier, welcome to the Pet Show.
How you doing, Warren?
I'm doing it. What would you have done, Bobby? You did what I did, right? You'd say no, right?
Oh, no. You know what? No. They don't need to come over. You don't like my cat? Don't come over.
So in other words, if you have someone that wants to come, that's a friend of yours, and they say, "Listen, we're not coming over unless you put that cat away," you're telling them stay home.
Yeah, stay home.
Bobby,
yeah, don't even come over. And you know what? My cats, the way my cats are, they either like the people or they'll just go hide. So,
yeah. And if your cats go hide, that means you shouldn't like those people either. I judge everybody by the way my animals react to them, which has caused me a lot of relationship problems in the past. Yeah, what kind of cat do you have, Bobby?
I have a gray. What is he? I'm talking to my wife right now.
His mom was gray, and his dad is a big brown tabby.
Yeah, his mother was gray. His dad was a big brown tabby.
But he's gray.
But he's a gray cat.
So he's blended. He's got great.
Like she looks like a little Maine Coon.
How old is she?
She is 7.
She's 6 and he's 5.
6 and
is this
5.
your cat or your wife's cat,
5.
Bobby? Come on. Is it your cat or your wife's cat? Make up your mind.
What do you mean? What do you?
No, you keep asking your wife how old the cat is, blah, blah, blah. I figure maybe you would know.
Well, because the first one we got, she's 6. Okay, I got her 6 years ago. And then we got him a year after because I guess we just thought she needed a friend. But they're both fixed. They're great cats. I love them. I don't care what other people say.
I agree with you 100%. Love me, love my pets. It's the way it's got to be. Hey, Bobby, don't go anywhere. I'm going to put you on hold, and I am going to send you for your cat. I'm trying to think what I want to send you. Oh, God, so many great things. I don't know what I'm going to send you. You know what? I'm going to send you a T-shirt that says, "None of my friends walk upright." And it's so true. Wear that if someone says to you they're not coming over because of your cat. 866-870-KRLA, the phone number, 866-870-5752. Hey, just a reminder, a lot of people ask me about hugs and kisses. Here's the deal on my Hugs and Kisses supplement for dogs only. It's on sale at my website, thepetshow.com, until December 23rd. 20% off if you go to thepetshow.com. That's my website. It's still available at Amazon and Walmart, but you can only buy them for 20% off at my website, thepetshow.com. So if you're looking for hugs and kisses for your dog, go to thepetshow.com. Don't forget that, thepetshow.com. And if you order them there, you get 20% off. As I said, still available at Amazon, still available at Walmart, and they will be, but you're not going to save that 20%. You will save it at my website, thepetshow.com, till December 23rd. 866-870-KRLA, the phone number, 866-870-5752. Let me go to, some great calls coming in. Let's go to James first, then we're going to go to Jenny, then we're going to go to Christy. But right now it's James in Buena Park. Hey, James, welcome to the show.
How you doing, Warren?
I'm doing great. What's up?
So I have a dog. It was given to me as sort of a support animal when I was going through cancer. I started training him. I had him by 12 weeks doing everything from speaking, waving, rolling over, just did really well. And then I took off for 3 weeks for treatment. When I came back, he had completely bonded with my wife. And even though I'm the one that feeds him, I'm the one that does everything with him. The only thing she does is give him attention. It's still by far his favorite person.
So are you jealous of your wife's relationship with your dog?
It's not that I'm jealous. I just don't understand because I do everything for him.
James, let me ask you a question. James, having been a cancer survivor myself, I want to ask you a question. When you were going through cancer, was it radiation, hormone therapy? What type of cancer treatments were you going through?
Radiation and chemo.
Radiation and chemo. Here's what's happening. When you come home, and I did a lot of work with Mount Sinai and some of the major hospitals in New York City years ago. When you come home from lots of times either cancer treatments or other type of treatments as well, you are the same person, but your body isn't. Listen, I went through hormone therapy, believe me. I stopped watching Ultimate Fighting and started watching Hallmark TV, so I know what these things can do to you, okay? So very often, the chemistry in your body changes. Doesn't mean the dog doesn't love you anymore, but that comfort zone is not the same as it might have been. What I would be doing at this point is spending as much time with the dog and reestablishing the relationship. I know you're doing that right now, but sometimes you're just going to have to push your wife away and say, listen, you know what? I need 20 minutes, me and the dog. We're going into a room. We're going to hang out. I know you're doing a lot right now, but again, the concept of you going through a cancer treatment or any type of treatment, I've had people that started taking drugs for diabetes or drugs for epilepsy, where the relationship with their dog or cat is ultimately changed. And so ultimately, I think that's what you're going through right now. And I think I would just kind of, as long as the dog's, okay with you and still loves you and whatever, as you go through, and by the way, my fingers are crossed and hopefully everything's going to work out for you. That's why the dog's reacting differently, but that's the reason behind it, if you have that question.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's I spend lots of time with them. I don't have no idea what difference there is other than
your whole body chemistry changes. Your whole body chemistry changes. Remember, my specialty was teaching dogs to sniff out bombs and drugs. And when a dog's nose, I'm telling you, a dog's nose can pick up a lot of things. I taught the first dog in this country to sniff out epilepsy in a person in Massachusetts many years ago before it was being done. That's how good their noses are. So any little change they can pick up on, and scent is so important. Why do you think dogs smell each other all the time? When a dog's smelling something, or smelling you, or smelling the dog, it's like it's the internet for them. It's Google for them. So if it doesn't smell the same as they remember it, or the same as it was, it can set a little change off in them. Nothing to be worried about. He'll come back when you're running again and the cancer's gone.
I'm not worried about it. I noticed the difference was I told her how to train him while I was gone, but instead of giving a treat for a trick, she was giving handfuls of treats and spending very little time on the
training. That can all be part of it. Yeah, the changes in the way your wife treated the dog versus the way you would treat the dog. I understand that. Yeah, that's going to make some changes.
And I got to be honest. So it was a cuddle bug for her because she missed me as well. So
of course. And remember now,
with attention.
And remember this, and this is important. Okay, when you're going through treatments like you're going through, your wife is going through it right alongside of you. She feels it. She hears it.
She was more scared than I was.
Exactly. And so was my wife, Denise, when I was going through. But the bottom line is this, that dog, when you were gone and going through this, that dog needed your wife as much as your wife needed that dog. So that relationship when you were gone was really, really a strong bond. Doesn't mean the dog loves you any less, but now has a strong bond with your wife.
That is where my mentality was. That's sort of what I thought was the big key in the whole thing.
And what I would be doing right now is saying to your dog, what's your dog's name?
Loki.
I would say, Loki, thank you for taking care of my wife, going through this alongside me. Yeah, so everything's going to work out fine when you're up and around and perfect. Yeah, it is, and I've got my fingers crossed and everything crossed, but that's the reason behind it. Number one, the chemical changes in your body, as minor as you may think they are from a dog's point of view, from their olfactory means an awful lot. They have something called the Jacobson's organ, which is a whole different thing to get into. So anyway, that's what you need to know. It'll come back. Just be happy that your wife had your dog to bond with the time you were going through this, because I'm sure it comforted her as much as it comforted the dog and you.
Vulnerable time for the dog because of the age that he was at for bonding, and they were both in a vulnerable situation because I spent all the time with them up to that point, and I was gone.
I can, I can feel the love in you. I could just feel the love that you have for this dog, and it brings tears to my eyes knowing. Yeah, go ahead.
Quick question about behavior.
Yeah.
He's 65 pounds now. He's 13 months. He thinks he's still a puppy. He still wants to jump on everybody because he's so excited. I'll put him in the playpen, get him to calm down first. And once he calms down, much more manageable. But what can I do to teach him that you don't jump on people? Because he's jumped on kids and an old neighbor and just
Education. I can't say it enough times. In other words, if the dog's jumping on people, he hasn't been taught not to jump on people. So when he jumps on people, he doesn't think.
He knows not to, but when he's too excited, it's like he has no control of himself.
No, if he knows not to, he's not going to. So what you need to do is forget the playpen. When people are coming over, instead of putting the dog in the playpen to calm him down, and when you let him out, he still gets excited, put him on his leash, work with his basic training before people come over. Get that positive control at that point. That's the way to calm him down. He's just gone through some training, so now when these people come over, he's more apt to be focused and listening to you. Have that leash and harness on rather than no, and get him to respond to that word. I want you to practice the basics when he goes to jump on people with the leash and harness using the basic obedience. That's simple. Yeah. I got to move on, but James, don't go in. I'm going to put you on hold, hoping you're feeling better. Prayers for you, and we're going to send you a copy of how to get your dog to do what you want. Interesting call, really interesting call. Over the years, I don't want to tell stories. There's so many stories to tell. I remember having a very affluent woman living in Fifth Avenue, New York City. I think I told the story before that a dog would only chew her right shoes, and she couldn't figure it out. And the trainers, no one could figure it out. After a while, it occurred to me maybe there's something with the right foot. The dog's only chewing right shoes. She went to the doctor, and it turned out she had cancer in her right foot. We found it because of the dog. 866-870-KRLA. Let me take a quick break. When we come back, we got Christy. We got Jerry. No, we just spoke to Jerry. We got Jerry in Anaheim, and we have Jenny in Camarillo as well. 866-870-KRLA. The phone number, 866-870-5752. That is the way to get through. What a call that was, by the way. You know, being a cancer survivor and having dealt with people at hospitals and hospices over the years, it's amazing. It's amazing how sometimes our dogs can change just a little bit when changes in our bodies take place. 866-870-KRLA, the phone number. Quick break, then right back at you. Hey, listen, have a question or a comment, want to share a story. I want to find out what you guys are getting your dogs and your cats for the holidays as well. Or do you give gifts to your pets? I do. I mean, I think it's a great thing to do. I think the greatest thing is waking up on Christmas morning and watching the dogs open their own packages and say, "This is all you got me, Pop?" I'm just joking, but that's how they look at you sometimes. Great time to give me a call. We do have a couple of open lines, pretty rare. I know people are out there shopping. 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. That is the way to get through. Lots of time for your calls. I still got lots of great stuff to give away on this show as well. One of the things we're going to be talking about this hour, besides getting to Christy, Jerry, and Jenny, we're going to talk about why your cats are so infatuated with cardboard boxes. Every week you hear me recommend cardboard boxes to help get cats being more creative and get energy out of them and get their mental stimulation working. And I was doing an interview this week, and I said, "Hey, Warren, I know you recommend boxes. Why? Why can't they just go out and buy a scratching post?" So why is your cat so enthralled? Is that a word? I hope so. So enthralled with cardboard boxes. We'll talk about that. If you have a cat that is addicted to cardboard boxes, give me a call, 866-870-5752. Also coming up in this hour, male or female? Male or female? Should you have a male or female training your dog? Does it make a difference if the trainer is a male trainer? Does it make a difference if the trainer is a female trainer? I told you earlier, I ran one of the largest training schools in the country years ago. And by the way, all of my trainers were trained by me. They apprenticed for a year and a half before they even went out on the road. But 80% of them were women. Why is that? The women trainers make better trainers than men? I don't know. We'll talk about that coming up a little bit later. All I know is when I was studying in Europe, the majority, almost everyone involved with the Schutzhund or ring sport training, other than participants, but the judges and all the trainers, a lot of them were men. Interesting. 866-870-5752, 866-870-KRLA. That is the phone number. Let's go to Jenny in Camarillo. Hi, Jenny. Welcome to the Pet Show.
Hi. Thank you for taking my call.
Hey, it's my pleasure. What's up?
So my Labradoodle Angus is always afraid to go from, like, the bedrooms into the hallway. And so, like, the bedrooms have carpet and then the hallway is hardwood, but he is literally paralyzed. And we thought it was just the carpet to the wood floor, but now we're in another place and he is hesitant to come inside at times, and he's like trembling and shaking, and it's really strange. He's not otherwise.
What kind of floor? What kind of floor do you have now? Is it also a wooden floor?
It's a tile where we're at right now. Tile, and then there's carpet in the bedroom.
Okay. There's a couple of things. Once a dog has a negative reaction with something, they don't forget it. It stays with them. So what I would be doing in your case, pretty simple. What I would do right now is I would go Target, Home Depot, wherever you want, and I would buy some of those. Oh God, Warren, what are they called? Those things you put on steps, like little pieces of carpet. What do you call those? Runner, not a runner, but they're kind of like. Oh, come up with the right word. But, you know what I'm thinking about? They kind of just fit on a stair. It's a piece of carpet that fits on a stair.
It's like a piece of tread, sort of.
There you go. That's exactly. You should be doing a show. A tread. That's exactly. What I would do is I would go out and maybe buy a dozen treads, and I would lie them down on the floor when he's coming inside. So his first exposure when he comes inside is something he feels comfortable with. And then what I would do is little by little, I would remove them over a period of weeks, not a period of days. That could make a difference for you. Are his nails nice and trim, by the way?
No, probably I could do a better job.
So can you, when he walks on the floor, walks on the floor, do you hear them?
Well, you know what? Yes, when they start getting long, and then we'll get.
So it could be part of it also. It could be that when he's walking and the nails are too long, and especially he's not feeling as secure on floor that's not carpeted because the nails are too long. So right off the bat, no pun intended, a pedicure for the dog. And there's also other things that you can do. For example, this company you hear me talk about, Acorn Pet Products, they have these incredible little booties for dogs and other things that are great. But right now, I think the most important thing that you can do is reestablish a dog's comfort zone about walking into the house. And I think by using those runners, not runners, but the treads, whatever you call them, I think that's probably the best way to go. And don't make a big deal out of it. Just don't make a big deal out of it. Just let him see them, let him smell them. If he wants to walk in them on the first day, fine. If he doesn't, then you can start kind of moving them a little bit. When I say moving them, if they're like a foot apart, maybe 2 feet apart, little by little. I have worked with so many dogs over the years, specifically dogs. And let me give you an example. Years ago, I was working with a dog that was very, very severely abused, and he was kept outside, chained on a lawn pretty much his entire life. When I rescued him, he was about 9 years old. It was an American pit bull, a large dog. I rescued the dog, and I finally found a home for it, but we had a very similar problem. He refused to walk on wood floors or tile floors. He had never been on those type of floors before. So what I did is I actually took in pieces of, what's the word I'm looking for, little squares, and I put some grass and dirt in them rather than carpeting, in his case, and I had them walk into the house on some dirt and grass that were in like little pad type things, and little by little he established enough comfort that we were able to get those out of the house, and he was walking. So a lot of patience, little by little, a glass of wine once in a while, I think you'll be fine. How's that sound?
Is there a recommended time period for trimming the nails?
It depends. It depends how much walking he does and what he's walking on. You know, it's like anything else. If he's walking on a concrete surface, you may not need it as often. But you got to be careful. Because you got to trim only the tips of the nails and let them go back. Every nail has a vein in it. If you don't know how to do it by yourself, maybe a professional should be called in.
Okay, definitely. Can I ask you one other question about cats?
If you could hold on for a second. Can you hold on for a quick break?
Sure. Thanks.
All right. Don't go anywhere. I'm going to put Jenny on hold, and we'll get back to your cat question. And I promise you, Jerry, and I promise you, Christy, I will take plenty of time to answer your questions as well. Do have an open line, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. I want you guys to listen to me carefully now because I am asking for your help. I'm Warren Eckstein. That phone number, 866-870-KRLA. Don't forget to check out my YouTube channel. Subscribe. It's free. I do share, and we'll be sharing a lot of stuff in the next couple of weeks. So it's youtube.com/Warren Eckstein, youtube.com/Warren Eckstein. That is the way to get through. The phone number here, 866-870-KRLA. We're going to get to Jerry and Christy in a second. Before that last break, we speak to my friend Jenny, who has a dog that's a little scared to walk on certain surfaces. We resolved that. Now we got to go back and help Jenny with her cat. Hey, Jenny, you still with me?
Yep, I'm here.
So what's your cat question?
Okay, I have 2 cats. They're about 2 years old, and I did a terrible job training them to not scratch. Now my furniture is ruined, and we're actually getting some new pieces. And before they come, I need some advice on how to get them to stop scratching. And
okay, when is the new furniture? When is the new furniture coming?
In about a month.
Okay, we got time. Here's what I want you to do. Call the company that's making your furniture or where the furniture is coming from. See if you can get a swatch of that furniture. Cats have scent glands on the bottom of their feet. So when a new piece of furniture comes into a household, very often they're going over to it, not just to scratch it, but to put their scent on it as well. If we can get them used to the smell of what that new furniture is going to be like, that's critical. Now, that being said, I was going to do this later, but I'm going to do it right now. I promise, Jerry and Krista, I will get to you. Cardboard boxes, they are your savior at this point. There are many reasons why cats are addicted to cardboard boxes. Number 1, for security and comfort. Number 2, it's kind of a hunting instinct they have to hide. Number 3 is warmth. Number 4, it's a great place to sleep. It's a great play area, and it helps them avoid situations. It really makes them feel a lot more comfortable. It's perfect, as I said, for hiding. Someone once said to me when I was in Europe, Warren, cats are liquid. Do you see what I'm saying? They can kind of get to anywhere. So what I would do is I would go out now and I would get cardboard boxes, especially when the new stuff comes in, but do it beforehand. Change them every day. Again, I'm saying boxes are absolutely free. Be creative. Get some organic catnip. Every box smells different. When the new furniture comes into the house, what I want you to do is put plenty of cardboard boxes, not where the new furniture is, and keep a close watch. If the cats are going near that and it looks like they're going to scratch, what I want you to do is get some wide strips of double stick tape, put it on the floor just in front of the new furniture. When they walk on, it's like kitty fly paper. They'll get the idea. It doesn't hurt them, and they won't go over there anymore. But the most important thing right now is mental stimulation for them.
Oh, love it. Thank you for that advice.
Did I send you anything yet?
I think Angus, the dog, was going to get something.
Yeah, I'm debating whether I want to send Angus something or I want to send. Yeah, you don't know what I said. What did I send Angus? I forgot what I sent you already. Gosh.
Oh, I don't know if you said what you did.
You know what? We're gonna get him to walk on. I'm sending you some. Putting you on hold. The lovely Suzette's gonna pick up, and you're gonna get. You're not gonna get, but the dog's gonna get some hip to be square treats. Hip to be square treats on their way to you. Check out the either the YouTube channel or go to the website. It's all free. thepetshow.com. Just don't forget that. By the way, if you go to thepetshow.com now, you can save 20% on hugs and kisses. It's available at Amazon and Walmart, but you won't save 20% at Amazon and Walmart, but you will save 20% through the 23rd of December on thepetshow.com. You can check out either the website or check out the YouTube channel. There's lots of great information specifically on preventing cats from scratching furniture and other things in the house, and I think that would be really, really helpful to you. And thank you for calling. What a great call that was. So many great calls today. 866-870-KRLA. I'm so happy. I am so happy that no one asked me about Love American Style. I told you enough about that story. It was resolved. It was one of the most incredible. How do you ask someone? You have to resolve it by whatever. I'm glad those days are over. 866-870-KRLA, the phone number. Let's see if we can help out. Christy in Gardena, and then we'll go to Jerry in Anaheim. Hi, Christy. Welcome to the show.
How you doing?
I am doing good. How about yourself? Merry Christmas to you, Christy.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, just like you're right next to me. What's up?
Okay, good. So I have a cat named Noah. He's 6 years old, and have a dog named Osito. And then I have a cat named Summer. She's a year old. Summer, she followed me home during the California heat wave. So I picked her up. I took her to the vet to find out she has an owner. She has no owner. I did whatever I could to find out. Well, anyway, I guess she was abandoned. I'm not sure her story, but I have her now. The problem is that no one and Summer, they don't really get along too well. And Osito, he's gradually getting along, so to speak. So Summer right now, she has her own little area in the back. So it's in their laundry room / storage room.
So how long have they been together?
Since September of this year.
So it's only been about, 3 months?
Yeah, 3 months.
Okay, and when you say they're not getting along, are they fighting with each other? Is there bloodshed, or are they just ignoring each other?
More like cat cries.
Okay, so when they walk past each other, there's a little growling and hissing?
Yes.
What if you tried to get them together?
Well, someone recommended me to play with them together to give them positive reinforcement. I tried that. I just started that this week.
Okay, well that's an okay idea, but there's a lot of other things going on here too. One of the cats you said one of the cats came off the streets. Is that what you said? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you at the beginning.
Yes, Summer. She's new. She's a year old.
Okay, but we don't know Summer's back. We don't know Summer's background. We don't know how long Summer's been out on the street, do we?
No, I don't know anything.
So it's very possible for Summer to survive on the street. She had to do a lot of battle, isn't it?
Right, probably.
And if she's coming in and she's not that scarred up, generally that says to me that her hissing and her growling has been protective. And did she have any scars on her, like she's been into cat fights or anything?
No. When I found her, she looked pretty clean. I bathed her. She had no fleas.
And there was no microchip. There was no microchip whatsoever.
No, nothing. No microchip. I went to Facebook. I went to other places to post her picture. Nobody found her.
Well, there are some people that are so cruel out there, they just take their animals and they abandon them. I really would never understand that. Let me do this. I don't want to rush you. I want to get your cats to be best friends. So if you can hold on, I'm going to put you on hold.
Okay, but the problem is with Noah. Now, this is new behavior.
Christy, let me do this. I don't want to rush you. I'm putting you on hold. I got to take a break. When I come back, I will resolve the issue with you. I promise, but I got to take a quick break. 866-870-KRLA, the phone number. I'm Warren Eckstein. This is the Petty Pig, but it's cute. Hey, we are back on the Pet Show. The phone number, 866-870-KRLA. Before that last break, we were talking to my friend Christy in Gardena. She has 2 cats. She had one and rescued another one. Christy, you with me?
No one ever.
What was that?
Okay, turn up your radio, Christy. Otherwise, you'll get confused. Okay. Here's what I want to explain to you.
Let me go outside because I'm at work. Let me go outside. The TV's on.
Okay, good. Go ahead outside. I'll wait for you. I would sing, but then no one would be listening. Christy has 2 cats. She recently rescued one just in the last 3 or 4 months that was out in the street. She tried to find a home for it. There's no home. She had a cat that pre-existed in the house, and there's been hissing and growling, but there's been bloodshed and no major fighting going on. And Christy, I'm assuming, wants to get them to get along. You with me now, Christy?
Yes, I am. But
okay, so here's the deal. The first thing that's important is they've only been together for about 3 months. I would have done some scent swapping right at the beginning, but you can do that now. It's never too late. What I want you to do is rub 2 different towels, one on one cat, one on the other, then switch. Have the towel on one cat, put in with the other cat, have the towel on the other cat, put in with the first cat. I want to live constantly with the smell of the other cat without necessarily the cat being on top of them. That's number 1. Number 2 is when you have any 2 things that aren't getting along or just haven't adapted to each other, what you want to do is use what we call distraction therapy. Is rather than overly correct them for that behavior, which can create more animosity, you want to distract them from that behavior till they understand that nothing bad is going on and ultimately everything's going to be okay. So little by little, that's where the cardboard boxes and the paper bags and the organic catnip, that all comes into play at that point as well. Now, there are some things on the market. I don't know if your cat cats wear a harness or not, but there's a company called Acorn Pet Products, and they specialize in things that are calming. And they have these little calming discs that you can put on a cat's collar or a dog's collar, and it will help calm them down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send you one. I'm going to send you some other stuff first, but I want you to take one of these discs, put it in one of the rooms where the cats are, see if that doesn't make a difference as well. The other thing I want you to do, you know what? Let me go back on that. I'm not going to send you that. I'm going to send you a copy of how to get your cat to do what you want. There's a whole chapter in that book on first pet psychology. And it's so important for someone like you that's obviously a pet lover to understand that you want to have a household that's calm and mellow. You want your cats to become friends. And very often some of the errors we make early on stay with us for a long, long time. So if you follow the advice I've given, and listen, if it's one thing I know how to do, it's how to get cats to get along with each other. It doesn't happen overnight. You never should get frustrated. Work it out slowly. But again, distraction's the way to go. Cardboard boxes, paper bags, change them all the time. Do that scent swapping. That's important. If there's someone else in your home or someone else you can work with, I would often recommend that if one person come in and hold one cat, another person comes in and holds the other cat, then you can separate. That would be beneficial. Also, there are products on the market. There are like the discs, but there are pheromones that you can use that plug into the wall that may help with the situation as well. It's relatively new. The fact that there's no bloodshed and it's more hissing and growling is good indication to me. But I want to put you on hold and send you a copy of how to get. Go ahead. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
One question. I'm sorry. One more question. I'm sorry. Okay, so Noah is an indoor-outdoor cat. So Noah is starting to mark now. Now this is interesting because Noah will follow my dog and I like a little walk. He's just down the street and back to the house. Noah, last week, he saw my car and he marked my car. He never done that before. I have no idea where that's coming from. And when
Noah's the cat that was there all the time, right, beforehand.
Right.
So how would you feel if another woman moved into your house?
True.
You may not mark the tires on your car. I get it, but in other words, that's what the change is exactly telling me. So he's not he's not an aggressive cat. He's letting you know that he's not comfortable at this point with another woman, quote unquote, but another cat moving into his household. And I'm not the fact that one of the cats is an outdoor cat, that makes it a little bit more difficult. I prefer cats remain indoors. That's my preference. They live longer and they're healthier.
Well, yeah, he's indoor and outdoor. He goes in and out.
I understand, but it only takes one. It only takes one time outdoor. Listen, I'm not going to tell you to keep him indoors, but if you're asking me my recommendation, the average lifespan of an indoor cat is 15 years. The average lifespan of an indoor-outdoor cat is 3 to 5 years. Even though he might have been living longer, you might be lucky. That's your choice, your decision. Follow my advice and getting the two cats to get along with each other. I'm going to put you on hold. I'm sending you a copy of how to get your cat to do what you want on its way to you, and I appreciate that phone call. You know, people often say to me, and I get this all the time about outdoor cats, the freedom. I understand that, but there are things you can do nowadays. I mean, you know, where I live in Arizona, you don't see any outdoor cats because they wouldn't last for a day with the coyotes around here. It's way too dangerous. But if you want to get your cat to go outside and build an outdoor enclosure that's coyote-proof for the cat, that's the way to do it. They're not that expensive. You can buy them pre-built, I think, at Home Depot or online, or teach your cat to walk on a leash and harness. People say, well, my cat follows me all the time. We go on walks. You don't know what's coming out of the next house. You know if the next door neighbor's dog didn't get loose and is going to go after that cat. You don't know that. There's so many things that are possibilities that can happen. I'm overly cautious. I drive people crazy because I hear all the horror stories every day, every week. I get the texts, the emails, whatever. But if you want to take your cat outside, my recommendation is an enclosure that's coyote-proof, or take the time to teach your cat to walk on a leash and harness. By the way, in the book, Christy, there's a whole chapter specifically on that. Let me take a break. We'll try to get back to some phone calls after that. Listen. Time to take any calls. You got like a minute left, but let me just let me do this. Let me share something with you guys and ask for your help as well. You all know that I have my own Hugs and Kisses Animal Fund. What the Hugs and Kisses Animal Fund does is help small organizations throughout the entire country, even Canada, organizations you never heard of, organizations that have a car wash to raise $100 to spay and neuter some pets. These are groups that really can use your help. And my 501c3, the Hugs and Kisses Animal Fund, makes all the difference in the world world to these people. By sending them some money, they can spay, they can neuter, they get money from nobody else but us. So if you'd like to help me share the joy this Christmas helping animals, go to hugsandkissesanimalfund.org, hugsandkissesanimalfund.org. Donate what you can, but you can rest assured that every single penny, nothing comes out in expenses. That's out of my pocket. Every penny will go directly to help animals all across the U.S. and Canada from organizations you've never heard of. Those are the people you see standing at a store saying, please adopt, please adopt. These are the groups that really do the work. Hugsandkissesanimalfund.org. Till next week, give all your pets a big hug and a kiss for you, one between the ears for me. I'm Warren Eckstein, and thank you once again for listening to The Pet Show.